Hi guys, welcome back to hemorrdroids.net. I've got here with me today the Motorola Razr and the Galaxy Nexus. I'm going to do a bit of a head-to-head comparison, one versus the other. Start off by, oh, did I shut that one down already? Yeah, good. They are both totally, well, not totally stock, the Razr's totally stock. The Nexus is a stock ROM. It's been deodexed and routed, but that should, you know, it's as good as stock basically. I realise they're different hardware and they're different software as well. I don't quite understand why people keep moaning you can't compare them when they're different versions of Android or they're different processors and things. That is the point. So let me make that very clear now. Please don't be whinging like that, because I just don't understand it. We're comparing what you get if you buy a Nexus, what you get if you buy a Razr. It's as simple as that. Yes, they're different versions. That's kind of the point in some ways. What's the difference? And yes, the Razr probably will get ice cream sandwich. When it does, we can compare it. But this is what, if you buy them right now, this is what you get. So, we're going to start off with the usual boot time test. Try and get them. Yeah, they've both begun. And as usual, it will be the first that gets into the app drawer. So the Nexus into its boot animation. I'll take this moment as well to say there are some of the tests that I run can go on for quite a few minutes. Obviously I'm going to edit it down. You don't really want to see the whole thing going on. Otherwise I'd have a half-hour long video probably. I just felt a vibration from the Nexus as if it's about to go into its home screen. There it is. I'm going to unlock. That's how fresh it is. And there it is. So it wasn't a great deal ahead. Well, hang on, I want to mind you we're not in the app drawer. So it wasn't a great deal ahead, but the Nexus did win. Did win round one. Just so you can see what version we're running there. Okay, next I'm going to run on 2.2 benchmark. Oopsie. Whilst obviously we all know that benchmarks aren't the most accurate thing, they're still a reasonable indicator of raw power of a device. So we'll see how these get on together. As I mentioned earlier, I'll edit in and out bits and pieces of this. I'm going to do it obviously on one long stream test, but it's not the most exciting thing for you to watch. So I'll catch you at the end. Frames per second on this one, but it trailed on the other test as frames per second. So the Razr's finished its test already. Pretty respectable 6183. The Nexus is still doing the write speed test, which is interesting. It's got the read one to do after that still. There we go, read speed. If I remember before, the Nexus was going around 5.9, 6,000, so it looks like the Razr may edge it, but we're waiting still for the result. Come on, Nexus. 5.8 this time. So there we go, 6,183 against 5,828. A clear victory for the Razr on the Antutu 2.2 benchmark test. Okay, next up is the browser test using Velamo. Both devices have Flash installed. Now I know you guys prefer to see the browser being used, but I'm just trying to benchmark these two devices, so this is the route I'm going to go. Again, it's one of those ones that it's going to take a fair while. It's going to take 10 minutes or so to run, so I'm not going to leave you watching the whole thing. You'll be a bit bored. I'll cut in and out if there's anything interesting for you to see, really. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys at the end of the test. So this is the part of the test that it simulates the finger sliding over the screen. I did look very smooth and quick on the Razr. I have to say the Nexus is dragging behind quite a long way. So the Razr's finished up, scored 700. Now I do remember the last time I ran this test the Nexus beat that, but oh wow, that did seem a lot slower, because the Nexus before scored 800 and this time it scored 388. Now I know before it wasn't compatible, it couldn't run a few of the latter ones, so they were taken out on both devices and the test was run. And the Note scored about 500, the Nexus scored about 800, so that's quite a big difference. It did seem a bit slower than I recall it doing, so I don't know why that is, but in this benchmark it's not done so well, and I'm going to leave it as that. I'm not going to tinker and try running it again. I've booted it up and run it, and that's what it's given me, so there we go. But the Razr with a pretty good score with 700. I think the last time I did have run it once before on the Razr, it scored 800, so not quite as quick, but yeah, quite interesting. The Nexus very poor in that one. I think normally it should do better than that, but anyway, let's not worry, let's move on. I'm going to do the GPS test next. Now before I did the browser test, I installed GPS tests on them both. I ran them and I gave them some time and let them both kind of get a lot so they could understand where they are. I updated the assisted GPS data on them both, so they're both from a similar position, because it'd be unfair if one had been used already and the other one hadn't. It wouldn't be a fair comparison. So they both have been used, they've both had a lock in this exact position. I am indoors, but I'm in like a loft conversion that normally will work for us. Now that was a fast lock by the Razr. To an accuracy of 6 meters. The Nexus still struggling. There we go, the Nexus has a lock, but not as accurate. 5 satellites against 7 and 30 meters against 8. So that was quite comprehensive. We can do it once more if you want to see that again. So the GPS has gone off because there's nothing using it. The Razr does open a bit quicker, so again, snap straight in. But the Nexus, even though it's just had a lock, it knew where it was, it should know where all the satellites are. It does seem to be struggling a bit. It's not even getting anything now. Oh, there we go. So finally, a clean lock on one and an average lock on 3 others. So definitely a win for the Razr there. Very good performance on GPS. I'm beginning to worry about this ROM, the stock ROM that I've put on here. Anyway, win for the Razr. Let's move on. Now I'm just going to try and compare here screen brightnesses. Let's just go in and I'll show you the settings first of all. They're both set to full brightness there, look. Display brightness, full brightness there. Let's go back into the browser. So this won't be by any means a scientific test. I haven't even got my attempt at a light sensor. I think it actually worked better just seeing what they look like. So you can see the brightness there. And if we try and compare that, I think they're both very similar, to be honest, aren't they? Whoopsie. Neither one stands out from the other particularly, but both clear enough, both bright enough, I would say. Okay, I shall move on. That was literally just a quick example, really. We're going to now look at the when I say look at, listen to the speakers. Now the Razr speaker is at the top and the Nexus speaker is at the bottom. Oopsie. Got a bit of Chris Brown lined up and waiting. So they are, in fact, if I set it slightly like that, maybe that'll keep you a bit happier. I know people whinge and moan about, but they're both on the back. They're both roughly the same distance now from the speaker. Let's how do we go back to the beginning? That's the Nexus. Just to show you as well, sorry I should have shown this, they're both at full volume. I think quite clearly that's a win for the Razr. It's a louder, clearer, better sound basically. The Razr again. So I think I'd have to go with the Razr for the better speaker in that instance. Move on to the next test. Next comes the Angry Birds opening competition. So I've literally just installed it on both devices. Razr with a slight edge at this point. Yep. Clear win for the Razr. Let's just try once more. Just show. I think I got them at the same time, so you can see straight away. Yep. Actually, quite an easy, oopsie daisy, quite an easy win for the Razr, that one. So there we go. That's the tests complete. I have to say, I'm quite impressed by the Razr. I'm quite surprised at the same time. I've never been a big Motorola fan, but the hardware seems very, very good. You know, if I could get ice cream sandwich running on this, on the Razr, then I'd be quite tempted, to be honest, but I don't think that's possible at this point. Anyway, there we go. Motorola Razr versus the Galaxy Nexus. My name's Andy. Hemorrdroids.net.